So we're getting rolling here with the recording. Good. Okay. All set. All right. So I'm going to keep this webinar short again. I know everybody's busy. I know we're hopping here as well. We're a little short-staffed. One of our staff members was in an accident last week and has been just recovering at home for a few days. We're happy to give her that time, but of course that means everyone's hopping a little more than usual, even for December. So I won't keep you too long, but I just wanted to go over a couple things. One feature that's come up, or support request this week, I thought would be good to just touch on a little bit, and then kind of give a little peek behind the scenes here. So, okay, got screen share going. Of course, a little bit of housekeeping as always. If you have a question, by all means, we encourage them. Top left corner of your screen is the Ask a Question button. There's also a chat window for the discussion on the left side, but if you use that Ask a Question button up top, then I'll make sure that we get those covered and it doesn't slide by me. Okay, you can ask those anytime, and of course we'll have time for a Q&A at the end. And before Mark goes ahead to ask again, no sensations this week. I already finished my Coke Zero, so I'm back to coffee. Cheers. All right, moving on to what we're here for. Okay, so you should be seeing my screen. We're looking here at our dashboard, and the feature that I wanted to cover right now is inventory tracking. And Christmas in particular will be one of those times where you have a certain number of items, right? Certain number of specialty containers, certain number of style of poinsettia, and you really don't want to oversell, right? It's just kind of a waste of time and ruin customer expectations when you've got to go back to a customer later on and say, "Yeah, I'm sorry you went and ordered this particular item off our website, but we actually sold out yesterday and didn't have time to turn it off yet." Which is kind of frustrating, and for them and for you. So, of course, we do have an inventory option, and I'm just jumping in here in the back end of this site, and there's two stages to making this work. Okay, so I'm just going to get into the properties on this particular product. Okay, so first thing is right here under the description and such is there's a quantity in stock option. So you can keep that unlimited. Most of the time for most products, that's probably what you're going to do. But you could also set this up and say we have a certain number in stock at the moment. And then once you save that change, now that's going to be tracked. Now there is another setting here that we need to adjust as well. And so I'm going under e-commerce settings and then inventory. I'm just going to give the screen share time to catch up. All right, and then you need to turn on automatic inventory management. And the way this works is you can set up that quantity in stock, but it won't actually be decreased unless you also turn on automatic inventory management. Because sometimes you may just want to show the quantity in stock. Sometimes the inventory tracking might be a little too much to go to try and coordinate between what's in store and what's online. So this is set up as an option, but if, for example, you were running a promotion where you said the first 10 people to our website today get the $30 poinsettia for $20, right? And you want to have a special item that sells only through the website, or if you're going to be tracking inventory, adjusting your website on occasion, this is how you do it. So we turn on automatic inventory management, and then right here we've got the options for when do we want to actually decrease that inventory. Right? Do we want to, most of the time we're going to have it when the item clears the payment gateway. So that means when somebody finishes their checkout on your site, inventory goes down appropriately on that particular product. All right. There is an option to have it change to when the order is changed to shipped or changed to completed, but most of the time we just want to keep it nice and simple. Somebody places an order on your website, inventory goes down, and that's the kind of the simplest way to manage that. Now, of course, the last thing that we're going to look at, I'm just going to jump back to products for a second. Okay, so it was Over the Rainbow was the product that I was editing. I'm going to jump back to the front end of the site. It's another one of our hybrid themes in progress. Apologize. We're doing an internal network transition here, so the speed on the screen sharing is taking a little bit longer for the screens to refresh. But okay, here we'll keep this simple. I'm just going to pick this one for the sake of time. And you can see right now on the product detail page is not displaying the quantity in stock. Right? Again, if most of the time that's the way we do it, just have a limited quantity, then that's fine. But you may have, for example, that web special or a particular something that you want to display an inventory count and out of stock. Then you're just going to edit that particular product page and make sure that you turn on the display of quantity in stock. And that's all. Right, so that shows right now we've got like 99 million of these in stock. I probably think of a better way to display that. We'll put that down as a feature request. But in the case of an item that has a limited quantity, you're going to see the actual count there, and that will decrease. And then once it's out of stock, they won't be allowed to order it anymore. It will display out of stock, and ordering will be disabled. So that's the inventory feature. Again, any questions on that? Go ahead and use the Ask a Question button in the top left. And then I wanted to kind of go behind the curtain a little bit. As we're getting close to the Christmas season, and everybody's kind of working within your own shops to beef up capacity, probably bringing in extra staff, streamlining procedures, and that kind of thing. We're doing something similar here. Right? So as we're coming up to another busy season, we're expecting traffic to peak. Most of our sites are growing noticeably in traffic, and just over the course of the year. So of course, once seasonal traffic spikes as well, we need to be ready for that. So one of the things that we do is run some testing. So what I'm going to show you here is the result of a little tool. Let's kind of blow that up. Okay. And what that shows you is some testing that we were doing with this tool that basically works to generate a whole lot of traffic all at once. And this lets us run some what-if scenarios and say, what happens if all of a sudden CNN picks your flower shop as the best local provider, or a news station, or you get mentioned somewhere, similar to what used to be called the Dig effect, right? Where if your website got featured on Dig, all of a sudden you'd have thousands of people visiting your website, and a lot of websites got crashed through that. So what this tool does is generate a whole bunch of visits coming to a site all at once. And so we want to see what's going to happen. And I'm very happy to report that, as you can see from this graph, as we go across this gray line, this is an increasing number of users all at once. And this is, of course, the time, and the green line is the response time on the site. And this particular test was looking at just shy of 7 million visitors a day. And as you can see, that response line stayed nice and steady. I'm going on memory here, but I believe in the spring I was reading an article on, it might have been around Valentine's, because it was talking about peak shopping season in general and how e-commerce websites tend to slow down as much as 13 times their normal load speed with an influx of visitors. And I'm happy to say that our sites are not going to do that. You can see here if we all of a sudden had 7 million, we did another test that was about close to 12 million, same kind of thing. We can expect nice steady performance. Our servers generally run at somewhere around 20% of capacity or a little less, give or take, and so we can take quite the hit before it even starts to become a bit of a burden. So beyond that, we've also brought in a database specialist who is with us as a consultant, along with our team of programmers and designer and project manager and the rest of the Strider team. We do like to bring in specialized consultants once in a while. So we have a guy who is working with us to just review everything that's in place. Quite often it's good to have somebody come in to, it's kind of like having Tim Huckabee come in and review your sales procedures, right? Somebody comes in with a fresh set of eyes. He's not too close. He's not in love with everything that's already going on or invested in it. Here's somebody coming in to try and optimize. So we've got somebody this week who's spending several hours just looking at our existing site performance, at the server itself, database configuration, coding, optimization, all these kind of things. Just looking for, are there any ways that we can clean things up? And we've got one site in particular, kind of separate from that, but one site we were working on where we were able to improve the load time by about 33% just with one simple change. So that's what's going on our end. Sometimes these optimizations don't make much of a difference right now, or on an average traffic day, but they're the kind of things that help us to scale well and help us to absorb a bigger hit with a bigger influx of traffic without having a major impact. So we like to overbuy and overcommit on server resources to start, so that when the hits come, it's not exceeding capacity. This is what we're built for. So that's kind of a look at what we've been doing here the past few weeks. Just working on kind of abusing our server a little bit and seeing how much she can take, and I'm happy to say she's standing up well. So that's kind of it from this end. So I'll kick it back over. I see we got a couple questions. For anybody else, if you've got something that you want to ask, go ahead, hit that Ask a Question button, and we'll see what's going on here now. Okay, we got one question about, does this tie in with the mass system? I think actually looks like both questions are related to that. So asking if the inventory feature will tie in with mass. Not yet. That is definitely something that we would love to do, and I know the mass guys would like to do, and that's probably something that's going to just require Todd from our team and Chris from Mass getting locked in a small room and lots of lubrication until that's just done. So certainly something that I would like to see us do. We want to look at a lot of kind of two-way integration options with our various point-of-sale partners. We've had same kind of talks with Floristware about how can we bring things like reward points or loyalty programs, customer profiles, billing, bring that safely, securely, accurately from the point of sale to us, and maybe pass more information that way as well. We'd like to see tighter integration. Again, we always have to keep efficiency and security in mind. So not small projects, but definitely things that we would like to do, things that we see on our radar for some point in the future. All right, so we have no further questions. if you have a question and you've been waiting, now is the time to get it in. All right. Otherwise, good. All right. So I will let you busy folks get back to selling some flowers. And wish you all the best. This is going to be our last webinar before Christmas. I figure next week everybody's probably going to be pretty slammed, and then the week after that is kind of a light week. So I look forward to seeing everybody here in the new year, and just wish you all a Merry Christmas.